Hi, welcome to our second part of our series. This is the Scorebook, and thank you very much for volunteering to be the official scorebook for our home games. The coaches each have a scorebook, and if we open it to the inside front cover, there is a sample diagram of all these symbols and all the various in-depth ways that a basketball team would keep an official scorebook. However, at our age groups, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade, many of these are not necessary. So what I do want to share with you is the bare minimum of what you need for an official scorebook. So if I open this up, generally the home team is going to be on the left, and the coaches should already have this filled out. And all I know right now is we are District 91 and we're doing a sample for the 4th grade team. Our opponent, we'll say that is Taft, 4th grade. Now, each of the players' rosters needs to be entered at the start of a game. A player cannot enter a game later during the game if they're not on the roster. There have been times where players have come late to the game, they weren't here for the official start of the game. As long as they are in the roster, they can enter the game at any point in time, whether they were here at the tip-off or came at the end of the 4th quarter. So we do need players, and we do need their numbers. So here I have player Nina, and I have her number is 4. And over here I'm going to have player Anya, and she is jersey number 12. Okay? Now, what is important is your fouls. And each foul is noted P1 through P5, T1 and T2. Personal fouls or technical fouls. A player is only allowed 5 fouls in a game. So let's say we're in the first quarter and Nina scores a foul. Well, I am going to just put a personal foul there. Doesn't matter what quarter it's in that she scored it, but it is her first. But that was in the first half. So if I look at my scorebook, you have the first half is first quarter and second quarter, and the second half is 3rd quarter and 4th quarter. So in the first half, she scored a personal foul. Down here, I am marking my team total. This is important because as a team, that depends how many fouls you have, whether the team enters a bonus or not. So right now we have Nina has 1 personal foul. The team has 1 foul. If I add another player to this, let's say we do player number 3, and that player is Lucas. And Lucas has a foul. Well, that's still in the first half, and in this first half of my scorebook, this team now has 2 fouls. Now, scoring, that's the other aspect you want. Again, going back on the front of the book, there's a lot of there's a legend in various ways. You could do scores, they shoot a bucket and they miss, it's 1 symbol. They shoot a bucket and they make it, that's another symbol. At this point, we don't care about that. Let's say Nina shoots in the first quarter and she makes it. I'm simply going to put a 2 down if it was a 2-point bucket. At that, I'm going to do a running score. Up here, we now have 2. Nobody else scores at the end of the first quarter. We simply have 2 as the score. I'm going to fill in the score by quarter is 2. And if I look up here, my running score is 2. That's a double check. And it would be really helpful if you worked with the person on the scoreboard while you're doing the book that both of you keep an eye that the score and the fouls are accurately displayed on the scorebook. Now we're moving to the second quarter. So Nina played the first quarter and Lucas played the first quarter. You can mark those. As a coach, it's helpful to know, especially in the PAA, who's playing in which quarters, but that's not necessary. What's important is going to be the score, the fouls, the team fouls, and the team timeouts. Now in the first quarter, this team did not take any timeouts. We're moving to the second quarter. Second quarter, we have over here Anya. Anya has now committed a foul. We are in the second quarter. That's why we use pencil. But that is still just the first team foul here. And if I update this quarter, they had 0, and a running score of 0. But Anya fouled Lucas. Lucas is getting to make a free throw shot, and he misses his first bucket. So I don't mark anything. But he shoots his second free throw and he makes it. So that's a 1. He made 1. So now I go up here to my running score and it's 3. Nina shoots a bucket. She's going to add 2 points to that. So now my running score is 5. And Anya, who's playing now in the second quarter, she shoots a 3-point shot. I'm going to add 3, and her running score is 3. And that marks the end of the second quarter. I'm going to make my totals, and I'm going to double check. 0 and 3 is 3, 0 plus 3 is 3, and my running score is 3. And over here, I will tally what I have. I have 3 here. My second quarter score is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. And my running total there is 5. All right. So you will continue with the same for the third quarter, the fourth quarter. The one thing I did not talk about were the team fouls. Now the team fouls, each team is given 2 full timeouts. I'm pretty sure I had that written down. Let me quickly double check my notes. No, they're given 3 full timeouts. 3 full timeouts and 2 half timeouts. A full timeout is 60 seconds and a half timeout is 30 seconds. When they use them, I generally mark down here. So if District 91 used a full timeout, I would mark an X and I would put a full timeout. Some sort of notation that you know what they used. If Team Taft over here did a half timeout, I would simply do a half timeout, an X, a check mark, something that notes what they get. So again, in the game, they get 3 full and 2 halves. So that's something you keep track of because the coaches will ask, hey, how many full timeouts do I have left? How many half timeouts do I have? The officials will ask. The other thing you really want to keep track of are the personal fouls up here. When a player is down to about 3 or 4 fouls that they've used up, it's always nice to just kind of look over at the coach and say, hey coach, Nina has used 3 fouls already. Or hey coach, Nina has 4 fouls on her. That gives them an idea and it keeps it in their mind because the coaches don't generally remember that, and so that's very helpful for you to give them a heads up. And then when the game is over, you've totaled, and then you just are going to enter the final score, 5, final score, 3. And that is keeping the book. Now, with this responsibility comes one more, the possession arrow. So the possession arrow works with which team would get the possession if a jump ball were to occur. So at the start of the game, it's up because the jump ball hasn't happened yet. So Let's say the home team, which generally sits on the right of the scorer's table while we are at Kelvin Grove, let's say they get the ball, they win the jump ball. The possession arrow is going to be facing the basket of the away team, because at the next jump ball, the away team, it would be theirs. When the ref blows his whistle and signals a jump ball, he will look at the possession arrow, and generally they keep something in their pockets that they remember which possession, which way the arrow should go, and he would say the ball's heading down to the north side of the gym. Once that inbound play occurs and has been a successful inbound play, you will then switch the possession arrow, because at the next jump ball, it would be the home team's basketball, in this case Kelvin Grove, which their basket during the first half of the gym, one moment, is to the south end of the gym. And so on and so forth. The possession arrow is going to alternate for each of the jump balls. And again, if working together with the person at the scoreboard is very helpful, working with the refs is very helpful. You will just continue alternating this after the inbound play of a jump ball.